Hello, my name is Kevin Garcha. I'm the Director of Marketing of GamTalk. I'm in charge of the campaign How to Become a Loser and Have No Money, and I'm also in charge of all the merchandising.
My name is Gavin Butar. I'm the Chief Financial Officer in charge of all financials and program oversight.
Hi, I'm Angel. I'm the Director of Programs who is going to be overseeing the 3 programs' administrative work.
We are GamTalk, specifically the BC division. We are an online community where users can log in and share their personal stories on problem gambling, stories of someone who is suffering from problem gambling. Our online forum has no limitations. It even supports people who want to learn how to play safely.
Our mission is to be the most recognized nonprofit organization that strives to solve the issue of problem gambling. GamTalk began in October 2008 and was the first online support system for Canadians. This grant proposal is to obtain funding for the program that will create awareness within the youth and teen demographics. Some of the research we have come across states that Canadian researchers have found that most adult problem gamblers begin gambling at the age of 10.
Problem gambling is defined as any gambling behavior that compromises, disrupts, or damages one or more areas of a person's life. These problems can include, but are not limited to, personal relationships, families, friends, finances, school, or work.
Gambling can affect anyone regardless of your age, gender, race, or social status. There are many signs of a problem gambler. The most common is that they don't view it as a pure form of entertainment. For them, it's not recreational gambling. Players may also feel compelled to make money, or more common cases, win back lost money.
This leads to a very stressful situation for problem gamblers when they are gambling. Problem gambling does not occur at any specific time in your life. There's no specific age where you're at a higher risk. A problem gambler will most likely feel anxiety when participating in gambling activities, even though they're getting high off of it. Also, this leads them to develop a false belief.
Some start to believe they have an influence and control over outcomes of the game. Others start to consider it as a way to make money like a regular 9-to-5 job. The reason behind this is due to the belief that gambling can improve life situations.
The primary survey was done online and was posted on Quantum website, and there were a total of 50 people did the survey. 82% of people know what problem gambling is, and 40% of people believe that it is a serious risk, and 56% of people have gambled within the last 12 months. 40% of people think that problem gambling is a moderate risk to use between the ages of 13 to 25, while only 28% think of it being a serious risk. 76% of people are concerned about it within their community.
BC, the average age of gambling starts at the age of 13. This is considerably a young age to start gambling. The act of gambling could be as small as betting things such as toys, games, stickers, and even Pokemon cards. Starting to gamble at a young age is risky since it can begin to develop a problem later on in life. Students are a big target market when it comes to gambling. If you look at the top 3 places to gamble, schools rank as one of them. By the age of 18, it is said 56% of youth have already gambled in the past. According to a recent study, schools aren't the only ones to blame. In fact, 67% of Canadian youth say that their parents have bought them lottery tickets in the past. This is considered to lead to problems later in a child's life. The promotion of gambling earlier in their lives leads to them being at a greater risk of developing a problem.
Contrary to popular belief, financial troubles are not the only consequences of problem gambling, if not the most significant. Other than finances, the most common consequences of problem gambling are mental and physical. The byproduct of these 3 lead to problems with your social relationships as well. The most commonly known consequences of problem gambling is increasing debt. Players will even start to dip into their savings, use credit card cash advances, which have insanely high interest rates. When all else fails, people will turn to crime, theft, and deception. They will start to steal from those they borrowed, sell valuables, or even engage in crime. It can take a very steep toll on your body. It can lead to cardiac problems, high blood pressure, stress, anxiety, changes in appetite, and sleep. These are the most common physical effects, but the list goes on. Mentally, it takes a great toll on you as well. It can cause you to feel depressed, guilty, lonely, irritable, anxious, nervous, and restless. Along with these, there are many mood swings, emotional outbursts, suicidal thoughts, and even attempts. The list goes on. The relationship effects are serious, but they are more of a byproduct of the consequences above. They can include preference of gambling to activities including family and friends, sign of stress, preoccupations, as well as irritability to those close to you. The more serious effects is a person being deceptive, secretive, distant, or even vague about gambling involvement.
These consequences are the purpose of our awareness campaign. The awareness campaign will use these consequences to show the severity of problem gambling. For our project, the target market is the young adults aging 13 to 24 years old. We choose this target market because we want to send a clear message to build awareness on problem gambling. To build awareness, our group is planning a raise awareness campaign on problem gambling, which is similar to what it has done in smoking awareness campaigns. For this campaign, 3 different programs will be decided to help us in targeting 3 different areas. The first one will be targeting elementary students with an educational program, and the second one will be a fear campaign. Third one will be the counseling service. Our group will be hiring part-time and full-time staff to present and train and as well hold the assembly.
What would you do if your son or daughter had a gambling problem? What options can you think of off the top of your head to solve this issue? Some of the proposed programs are education sessions, information sessions for students, and counseling services. The education sessions will serve the purpose of informing teachers on problem gambling. These sessions typically will run from 3 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Our teams will keep it to a bare minimum of 30 minutes spread throughout the week. The cost of these sessions will be free for teachers. The 30-minute sessions will help teachers gain more insight on the topic of problem gambling. This will include signs of problem gambling at a young age and signs to look for. This could include things such as trading those things such as toys and cards at a young age. This might seem like a small trade, but in the future can lead to bad habits. The teacher's purpose is to educate the students on the signs of problem gambling and create awareness on the topic. Since children are exposed to gambling a lot, it's better to expose them to the dangers of this at a very young age. Teacher resources will include problem gambling notes, fact sheets, and student activity sheets. All resources will become available online as well as print.
Growing up in Lebanon in the 60s, the norm for kids was to play marbles, to win, and keep the winnings. If you lost, you'd buy from someone who still had marbles, and if you won, you'd sell to the loser. I got my first gambling high at the age of 7. I had won 25 cents. When the cake merchant came around, I bought a piece for 15 cents and was still up 10 cents. I felt so happy. I loved gambling. I developed dreams of getting my own house, a future wife, from gambling with marbles.
The second program is How to Become a Loser and Have No Money. That is the current slogan that we're going to be used. It is supposed to be eye-catching and get people to read the content. The advert is going to be a fear tactic used by GamTalk. They'll include different topics such as addiction, drugs, alcohol, and extreme cases of debt. A total of 4 advertisements will be created and distributed within different mediums. We'll be using Facebook, Twitter, and newspaper advertisements. The advertisements will create an overall brand awareness that will be used for counseling services as well, so people can associate the 2 programs within one another. Another good reason why we want to do this is create an overall brand and image. The main purpose of the fear campaign is to create fear and make students not gamble.
My family and friends had no respect for me. My health had deteriorated because of all the smoking and stress, and my credit card debt and bank loans were out of control. I also owed loan sharks $84,000, and my life was in danger because I wasn't keeping up with my payments.
I met a girl and I couldn't even afford to buy her or me a coffee. I was always broke after I got paid.
I gambled through most of those 40 years and lost a significant sum of money, somewhere in the $500,000 range.
My logic was, if I won it once, then I can do it again, and I'm on a roll and nothing can stop me now. I have nothing to show for it now, not a single dime. The bets kept getting bigger and the money kept decreasing until it was all gone.
The third program will offer counseling and support services. Partner with BC Responsible Gambling, our group will create counseling programs. Our group will also provide information in regards to the hotline and the online forum provided by GamTalk. Our staff members will be fully versed with the programs available. The counseling program will be created to target each of the three main side effects of problem gambling: financial, physical, and mental. There won't be a specific program targeted towards emotional problems related to problem gambling, because it is something that is considered to be a byproduct of three main side effects, so it will be covering each of the counseling programs. The financial program will aim to help those struggling with the financial consequences of problem gambling. It will provide financial advisement as well as ways to combat the urge to risk their savings, salary, etc. while gambling. It will also help to deal with the effects that financial problems have caused in their daily lives. It will be a combination of counseling and financial advisement. The counseling program for the physical side effects will aim to help problem gamblers realize the toll their addiction is taking on their body physically. It will offer a sort of rehabilitation by providing various programs in the counseling program itself to deal with the physical health problems. Depending on the severity of the problem, more specialist help may be required. The counseling program for the mental side effects will help those affected mentally by problem gambling. Counseling is very effective when it comes to problems that deal with a mental state. This program will aim to dig into the depth of the problems on hand and not just be a one-time fix. The counselors will work with the patient to ensure they don't fall back into the same state again but are able to move on. A support system in this program is very crucial because the support is what will help the patient stay strong and positive throughout the program and not lose focus and hope.
The GamTalk online forums are a Canada-wide support system for problem gamblers and those affected by problem gamblers in their lives. The forum is anonymous, so people could hide behind a username. It is just not to share stories, but to share ideas about how to play safely.
I have learned that you can stop gambling if you really want to. You just have to want to bad enough.
My life isn't perfect. I still have many life issues that I face daily, but today, I don't have to do things alone. I stay connected to others in GA and visit sites like GamTalk daily.
Our program will be piloted in Surrey, BC regions, the schools in which include elementary, middle school, high school, and some major universities. We're going to be primarily focusing on School District 36 in Surrey. We're going to be grouping the elementaries by the high schools in their area. The programs would be offered at no cost and would be funded by the grant. A method of investigating the situation would be to monitor the traffic of our website and mapping out where the traffic is coming from. This will help us determine geographically what schools we need to revisit for more sessions. Another way to investigate the situation would be to do surveys with the teachers. This will give us an insight of what they like, what they didn't like, and what we could do to improve in the future.
The amount of money we are requesting is $250,000 for a grant. This is going to be funded by the BC Community Gaming Grant. Table 1.5 shows breakdown of the funds. The funds are split 60% towards salary and 40% towards the actual grant. This table shows our salary budget and salary cost. As you can see, we have 2 managers, 3 full-time associates, and 6 part-time associates. We have the federal and provincial deductions, CPP deductions, EI pay, and have calculated the net pay as well as net yearly pay. This table here shows the total cost of employer's contribution, so the employer's CPP contribution, EI contribution, and the yearly cost of the total contributions. So this table here gives you the total cost of employment, so total salary payout, which is $140,613.20, and the total employee contribution cost, which is $9,876.62, and the total cost of employment equals $150,489.82. So this table here shows our merchandising cost. We have a list of the merchandise that we will be ordering, the quantity of how much we're going to be ordering, per unit cost, setup fee, shipping cost, and total cost, which is $11,995.37. All these figures are based on real quotes that we acquired. This table here shows our marketing and supplies budget. We have a list of the various mediums through which we will be advertising, the quantity of how much we'll be ordering, per unit cost, their fee, subtotal, any taxes applied, shipping, and the total cost as well. Also here we have a list of supplies that we required during our presentations, assemblies, and booth setups during Welcome Week. The total cost of both marketing and supplies is $24,149.20. Again, all these figures are based off of real quotes that we acquired.
One of the problems that might arise is salaries, which is going to be a major expense for us since we could be hiring staff to do the presentations. If salaries become an issue, we can always downsize the staff, but then we will have the remaining staff take on extra work. The simpler solution will be to allocate the time more efficiently so that we don't come across the problem of lose our funds. Another major problem is the school access, because we need to establish a partnership with the schools in order to reach the younger adults. The solution for this problem would be to give the facility administration enough of a notice to ensure our campaign does not interfere with their school schedules. Another major problem is the marketing cost. This budget could go out of hand quickly if we order too much supplies. The solution for this problem would be to order a little amount of product at a time.
To implement this program, we will be dividing our staff into 3 teams. Each team will consist of 1 full-time associate and 2 part-time associates. To cover all the students in the high schools, we will divide those students into 2 groups. The first group will be juniors grade 8 to 10, referred to as Session 1. The second group will be grades 11 to 12 seniors, referred to as Session 2. Session 1 will take place during the morning and Session 2 will take place during the evening, because in between is a lunch period. Each high school will only require 1 day to cover all the students. While each session will be an hour long, this will provide sufficient time for an interactive presentation. For the elementary schools, we will only require 30 minutes, as we will only be providing the teachers with sufficient information and training about our campaign, so then they're able to teach their students and further educate them about problem gambling. Here you can see an example illustration of our implementation program and how we have put it together.
The implementation of the program in this campaign will help create awareness for the problem of gambling from a young age through young adults. All 3 programs have 2 objectives, primary and secondary. The primary objective for all programs is to create awareness, as that is our primary goal. The secondary objectives are different for all 3. In the first program, it is to educate students in elementary schools through their teachers about the severity of problem gambling. It is also to educate them in gambling in general. The Fear campaign secondary objective is to create fear about gambling and their consequences through worst case scenarios. The Fear campaigns target both high school and post-secondary students. The third and last program also targets post-secondary students. It actually has 2 primary objectives. Along with creating awareness, it will also offer counseling services to those affected indirectly or directly by problem gambling. This will also include a hotline as well as an online forum to share ideas, experiences, stories, and etc. These programs will be beneficial towards the citizens of British Columbia, starting off with the Lower Mainland, to help prevent problem gambling.
Thank you for watching our presentation. Hope you enjoyed it.
If you have any questions, please ask them now.